Good morning, everyone. We are in day one training and we are starting with learning about SSJS. As I mentioned before in the previous video, I'll be recording this based on my availability. I couldn't do it yesterday, so I'm doing it on 28th. So this is the agenda for today's video: creating a cloud page collection and a landing page within it, writing a hello world program, explanation of the basic structure, variable declaration, how to comment in SSJS, execution of the static program, and we'll try to discuss about name convention. Along with learning this program, which is multiplication, we'll try to learn how to concatenate in SSJS. So let's begin with our day one training. I'll be jumping into the cloud page. First, let's learn how to create a collection. What is collection? As the name says, it's more than one page being placed in a folder structure. So I'll create a collection. I'll call this one as SSJS training. And if required, we can have a description for this collection. I'll click on save and I'll click on this view now. So the first time we are learning how to create a landing page, which is also termed as cloud page. The options might be different in your use case when you click on this create landing page. Since this training account is not completed with SAP, Center Authentication Package, the URL will be auto-generated. In the real world, it will be a domain which will be used against the SAP. So let me write the first program, which is hello world. This is the name of the page which I'm creating. In the real world, you'll be having an option of having a URL which is unique. I'll be selecting the classic content to explain the coding. I'll click on next. I'll select the code view and it will be a create new content. And at this time of recording, if you find any background sounds, I'm really sorry. I'm trying my best to have the best audio quality. The first thing when we create a landing page in Marketing Cloud, we have this URL which should be published first. That is the best practice to be followed. Click on schedule, click on publish. Follow the pointer when you're practicing this. And you can see this message, which is taking 5 minutes. I'll click on this. We should not get any error when we run this page. And URL is not readable. That's fine because we're concentrating on learning SSJS as well. On the left-hand side, we can use an existing resources in the form of JavaScript, CSS, JSON, RSS feed, text, or an XML format. So let me delete this. And now I'll be creating or going to explain. After creating a landing page, the first thing is publishing. After publishing, checking whether the URL is working without giving any error. Having said this, now it's time to write the first JavaScript code in the form of server side. So I'll be creating page here. You can create any page. I'll be going with a normal text document first, and I'll call it as SSJS. This is a normal text file, and you can open it in your favorite editor. So let me open it in a notepad. And here we'll be writing our first SSJS code, which will try to print hello world on the screen. Script tag should be open. Script tag must be closed. And to make it as a server-side JavaScript, we should use an attribute called runAt with a value server in it. We have additional attributes to be learned, but we will learn it as and when it is required. The first thing which I'll be doing is trying to print hello world. And to do that, I need a response object dot write function, double quotes, or preferably single quotes, hello world. I'm saving it in a notepad, copy this code, and go back to our cloud page, click on this, paste it, and click on save and publish. You should see the output here immediately. If you don't see this, the reason could be the first line which we need to type is platform.load. Platform is an object. Once again, dot load is a function. This is a case sensitive language. Make sure that you people are clearly specifying the uppercase and lowercase as it is mentioned in this. We'll try to discuss on that. It's a core library with the version 1.0. Let me copy this again. Let me paste it here. Now let us see whether we get it. When it comes to response type write, click on publish again. Platform.load, response.write. So when we use double quotes within the write, if it is not taking, change it to single quotes. It should work with both single quotes and double quotes, and core will be having this value 1. These are all the ways. It's not that we write everything and we get an output immediately. We should start trying all these things to understand better the single quotes, the double quotes, and the others. Platform.load, core 1, 2 parameters. This is not working. Go with server side JavaScript and the help top. Salesforce marketing. That is help.salesforce.com or developer.salesforce.com. Help will have the help top. And here we have documentation products. Let me go to Marketing Cloud. Programming languages. I'll select server-side JavaScript, server-side JavaScript syntax. The first thing what we need to make sure that we are writing this. Script run as server. You can see the language. The additional attributes will be explained as we progress. So according to this, they say that it can be written like this also, but as a best practice, we should follow double quotes or single quotes. What is next? Next, what I've written is the core library, server-side JavaScript, platform functions. We have core library functions, which should be platform.load. Insert library name here with the version. Coming to this, you can see that this is the one which I'm trying. Let me copy this and paste it. Here, platform.load. Oh yeah, semicolon was missing. Let me copy this code now and let me go back to the code and paste it here. Expectation is we should get an output here first. Example, H1 time. Hello world one. Click on save. You can see the output here. This is what I'm expecting even in SSJS. Platform.load, core 1.2, response.write. Hello world. Let me save it. That depends on stacks. I'm getting this error from yesterday, so I need to work on this part. But let me try by publishing it and clicking the link here. It is telling that there is an internal server error of 500. So what is the solution? So this account is almost expired. Probably that could be the reason that this is not allowing me to execute SSJS with any libraries. So I'll try to record this more. But since we are learning here, let us try to understand the naming conventions. Platform.load. Platform is an object, load is a function, where it takes two parameters. The first one, the library name. The second one is the version of it. Response is an object, write is a function. Whenever I use the word function, remember that it will have a round bracket and it will take parameters in it. Now, the next topic which we wanted to discuss is on the basic structure. As I explained, script tag should be present, run at server, platform.load, and script tag is getting closed. Variable declaration. Since it's a scripting language, variable can be declared using the keyword var. VAR. Using the keyword VAR. That is var. Then how to comment it? So let's go ahead and complete these things in the notepad first, preferably in the text editor, whichever is your favorite. Whichever is your favorite. Let me continue with the next program. So I'll continue with the same line, assuming that the response.write was executed. Now I want to declare a variable. So you have to use the keyword var and then the name. So I'll be taking the name as X. Then we can go with many others for giving the space. Since it's a language coming from JavaScript, if you are basically aware of that, you can go with assigning a value without even declaring a variable. X, Y, Z, and this is not the best practice. Try to have a meaningful name like index number 1, result, add result, and more. Now I want to go with commenting. What is commenting? A piece of information written in your code only to describe it and to have an explanation so that the person who is viewing your code later should understand what that code is and how and why it has been written. Single line code uses // and you can comment. This is an example of single line comment. The one who comes from JavaScript, they know this better. And if you're learning for the first time JavaScript or SSJS, we'll go with this. This is an example for multi-line comment. You can have more than one line in this piece of code. This is an example for single line. This is an example for multi-line. Moving forward, I'll go with a simple variable called T, that is the table. Variable the end, and the variable start, and then the variable called use the conventions. I'll go with multiplication result. Now it's time to go ahead and complete our code. So I'll take the table to print the value 5, that's the multiplication table 5. And then the start variable will be 1, end variable will be 10. And now I need to repeat the steps for 10 times. Multiplication result is equal to the table into start value, which is 1. After this, you'll be using the response.write and you'll just mention the variable to print it. But we need to print in the way we want it. The one which I am expecting is like this: 5 into 1 is equal to 5. If I want to print this, I need to concatenate the results with the variable values. That's what we'll be learning. Good. So how to do this? You can take a variable. I'm taking variable for everything. Print result or print string is equal to single quotes plus this single quotes will have a break line because it is getting printed on the browser. Then I want to print the variable which is the table plus single quotes to give a space and star space. Plus is concatenation single quotes. After printing this, I want to print the variable start plus single quotes open close, which should be table 5 into start, which is 1, is equal to should be printed with the multiplication result. Semicolon, enter. So this will be with our concatenation result. So copy this value and print it in your response.write. But we want to perform this repetitive multiplication calculation, which can be done with the help of for loop or while loop. I'll take a for loop so that I keep changing the start value. So let's go with start is equal to 1, which is reassigning. Start is less than or equal to the end value, which is 10. And every time the start has to be incremented exactly by the value 1. Now the steps are still the same. So if SSJS executes, for sure this will be executed. Any line which is not required will be removing it as and when it is. Good. So this, what we learned today is very simple JavaScript with hello code. Naming conventions will be picked with a detailed explanation on how to write it with different language comparison so that you people are clear on the naming conventions. Conventions are the best practices to be followed by all the SSJS developers or JavaScript developers. Rules are nothing but where it has to be followed by everyone. With this, I'll be ending this video. I'll come back with the next video where I'll try to fix the error with respect to this execution. Thank you very much for watching this video. Have a great day.